No one else here yet?
Me.
Save the best for first, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
You
I
can
just want
hear
to
me?
let you know. Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine now. I'm not gonna be able to stay on today just more than 5 minutes, maybe. We're having air conditioning work done. They've been here all day yesterday and today too. They're still in and out helping doing things and all that. So I just want to see how everybody's doing and all that.
Yeah, well, that's
So
good to do. Yeah, air conditioning, that could be a pain in the butt.
yeah, they worked yesterday from 8 till about 6 o'clock, and I think they still got stuff to do up in the attic and everything. So it's coming along good though.
It's a good
How's
time of
everything
year
up
to be
there?
in the attic instead of the summer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's still been hot up there and everything, but I was just seeing how everybody's doing. But tell everybody hey for me.
Okay.
No, I'll have to wait. I can stay for just a minute or two. Are y'all getting information on the reunion? It's in October, right?
It's in October. It's like the
21st through the 4th, maybe, or
no, I think it's like the 15th. They moved it a week ahead.
yeah. Let me write this down because it's looking like possibly or maybe both of us. I'm gonna try to see if I can come. I'd like to come, so I'm thinking I'd say about a 60% chance of yes.
Okay, that would be good. I see the 15th to the 17th.
Write that down. Say 15th to the 17th.
Uh-huh.
October.
October.
15 to 17.
Oh,
New Haven.
Tom, hello, Rick.
Hey, David. You don't know anything about the
Hey, Dave.
hotel and all that kind of stuff yet. Huh? Nothing's really.
I haven't heard that stuff yet.
I haven't heard anything. If you get anything, send it to me. Tell Bill the
Okay.
same thing because he
Okay.
seems to get a lot of stuff. What's up, David?
Oh, not too much.
Same old.
Yeah, all's fine, all's well.
Good here. Tom's doing double duty today.
Yeah, how you got that going on?
I don't know.
What is
You
it? Are
got-
there two of me?
Yeah, you got two of
Yeah.
you.
You know, it's amazing this thing even works because I was trying to get one off one screen so that I can get the pictures ready to go if I needed any of those.
Oh yeah.
And then it disappeared, like it disappeared last week.
Uh-huh.
So then I went and got a different computer and went on, but this one's all on the same computer. I don't know how it has two of them.
It's
Yeah, it
amazing.
is. It's amazing. But October 15th through 17th, anyway, 15th through the 17th in New Haven.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking about it.
Well, that'd be good.
I'm kind of leaning more toward maybe trying it, giving it a try this fall. It'll be great this fall. I like to. I don't know if we'd fly or just maybe drive up because I'd like to go up through Memphis and Nashville, stop in to see David, get a few free meals, and then go on up the airways.
Yeah, we'll pick David up with you. Bring him.
Yeah. That's a thought. That's a thought now.
Because I remember the last time when I went to the New York reunion, David was I saw David in New Orleans, and he said, "Well, who did you hang out with in New York?" I said, "Your ex-wife."
That's
Barbie
that's
was up
right.
there? Barbie was
She
up
does
there
make these, doesn't she? Sometimes.
Well, she
At
made
least
that.
one of-
She made the one in New York.
in New York.
Yeah.
That's
Kent and
what
I
I
were
wish I'd come to.
glad
That
to see
would
her.
have been fantastic.
You know,
Glad you reminded me.
it's a good time if you guys show up because
Oh, I'd love to. I know.
you know
I
Billy
wish.
and I and Kent and everybody would have more people to hang out with because
Yeah.
we don't know.
Is Kent coming?
I'm trying to talk. I'm hoping he does.
Yeah.
He has a lot of health problems. He had open heart.
Yeah, I know he had all that heart surgery. It was amazing. Within hours, he was out walking through the hospital. Remember those pictures?
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable what they do, nowadays,
Yeah. Well,
But
I want everybody to come so that we can all have.
yeah, it'd be good. October 15th through 17th. I'm glad I found. Okay.
I'll check again today, but that's what I
I'll
heard.
know more. I'll know more as it goes along. I was telling Dave was telling, said maybe both of us might actually do it. Come up there. I'd like to. I just wish the hell I'd gone to New York that time. We were going to go just that close because Sandra never been to New York. That would have been a great trip. Should have loved that. But anyway, there you went. You got your small picture now.
Okay, good.
Wearing your cap, and everything.
Oh yeah. All right, good. I didn't want two of me up there. We don't
Yeah.
need two.
So one of you's been minimized.
Good. Good.
I was telling David I'm not gonna be able to stay but just a few minutes because we've got a bunch of work going on over here at the house, and it's been hectic for the last 2 days. Air conditioning work up in the attic and everything, couldn't it? But
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, we knew we were gonna have to do this when we moved in. It was something that had to be done eventually. And, as soon as the stimulus check came in, it's time to fix it.
Yeah,
You
we
know?
Emily and I, when we moved to Baton Rouge, we bought this old house,
Mhm.
$32,000. And her
Good grief.
girlfriend, Susan, who used to come to the Mustache, her husband said he knew all about air conditioning and he would help. He could buy the equipment from his
Hey,
dad.
Peter.
His dad
Hey,
was in
Pete.
business and he was going to help me put it in. Well, he
Uh-huh.
didn't know his ass from the hole in the ground. And one day it was a hot summer day, and we had this attic fan up there, and Emily and I are both in the attic working, and then she's kind of over in the corner. So I'm by the fan, so I unplug it so I don't fall into it because it's really spinning pretty quick. And then I go down to get something that I had forgotten. Well, when I get down to the bottom, my neighbor says, "Hey, you want a beer?" Go, "Oh yeah, that sounds good."
You forgot to go back up.
So about 15 minutes later, Emily comes crawling out of the attic, sweating like a pig. And she says, "You son of a bitch, you turned off the fan and then you left." I said, "Well, I had to come down to get something. I didn't want to disappoint my neighbor, Pat."
Uh,
Well,
It was
Hey,
good.
Peter, what's up?
well,
What's
just
up?
enjoying life.
Yeah,
I
that is.
went shopping today to BJ's and that was the highlight of my life today.
Hey, I went to Home Depot.
All right, well, I did that too. I got some pool shock.
Yeah. My wife went to Walmart. Well, what a full day we had. Whoopie do, you
Hey,
know.
when I get out there, when I go to one of those stores, it makes me excited because we were stuck in here for so long.
Just just anything to get away because it's so with the work going on here, it's so noisy. I mean, so you can imagine. I didn't need to go. I
So they
said,
put in the air conditioning in, or
no, it was already there. The units that we have are maybe 2 years old at the most. But whoever installed them a couple of years ago, it must have been the Three Stooges because it was just. The guy showed me everything. I mean, the guy I've used at my old house for 16 years, and then back here now. So they're real good, and he showed me all the. I mean, things were. One of the units was just sitting on a couple of rafters instead of on some kind of a platform.
yeah,
Some of the stuff was covered up with just layers of duct tape instead of. I don't. It's hard to describe. It was just,
Yeah.
but it's going to be in good shape now and everything. So
good.
So
But
anyway.
you'll need it for the summer.
Yeah, it's we're getting ready to get another night of bad stormy weather down here again tonight.
Wow.
Tonight and in the morning, severe weather again.
What's
Every day.
going on?
I don't know. It's going to be. They said from Oklahoma City down through Baton Rouge. That's gonna be the biggest part of the severe. But even the New Orleans area, the coast, like we are, could get some. Potentially. I mean, the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's almost every weekend, or like every Thursday or Friday or whatever. It's coming in, Friday night, overnight, and into Saturday for about half a day. Just, it's getting windy as hell out there right now, but hadn't done anything yet. I don't know. It's just.
Krippner moves from New Orleans, and all the hell breaks loose with the weather.
See, I knew something was going to happen bad there.
That's right.
Actually, I just thought it was going to be more of the same high humidity and all
It
that
is.
stuff.
The humidity's here. Don't worry.
Here they have weather advisories that the humidity is going to be below 25%.
Like
And
25%.
so there's an increased risk of fires.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess that would be, yeah. Jeez. Well, yeah. I'm gonna have to go I guess I'm gonna have to go on a run. But I was
Okay,
gonna say,
thanks for stopping by.
hope everybody's good. Everybody take care.
Yeah,
And
Good
luck.
I'll be here next week.
I'll be
As soon as they-
driving down to New Orleans next week, so Billy's going to handle the call. We'll get together after I get down there.
Yeah, let everybody know, call or tell Bill to call us, whatever. While
Okay.
I go to wherever, get something to eat and everything. But take care, guys.
All right.
David, I'll give you a call.
Good luck
You home
with
next
the-
week, David?
good luck with
You
the air
gonna be home next
conditioner.
week? Yeah, you gonna be home next week, David?
Yeah.
I'll give you a call.
Okay. Sounds
Y'all
good.
take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So Pete, I'm going to be over in New Orleans for a month starting next week. So you should come over and we'll go to Frankie and Johnny's and have some
all right,
debris fries.
sure.
Mhm.
So
Now,
what's going
said
on,
you're gonna-
Dave?
You said you're going to stay for a month, but aren't you going to San Francisco part of that time?
Nah, that's changing because I don't know. I'm not that fond of getting on an airplane, and Nick's gonna Nick's gonna visit us here like a week after we would be in San Francisco. So it's kind of stupid.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we're gonna end up staying in New Orleans for about 6 weeks.
Okay,
I'm looking forward to that.
that sounds great.
We rented our house, and that pays for the Airbnb that we rented in New Orleans.
Oh, excellent.
And then that's for a month. And then the next 2 weeks, our sister-in-law is going to be, she lives between New Hampshire and New Orleans, and she's going to be up in New Hampshire. So we're going to take her place up on
Say that
Arabella.
again. Now, where does she live?
She works at Holy Cross College, in New Orleans,
Yeah.
but she
West
spends
Bank.
a lot of the summer in New Hampshire. Her kids are up there. So she has an apartment. She has a condo up there. So she's going to be gone for most of the summer, and we're going to stay in her house for a
Ah.
while.
Ah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to being down there. I hope it stays fairly cool until we get down there, which it probably won't, but that's okay. It's been cool up here. It's been cold up here.
Yeah.
Like last night I took the dog out and it was like, geez, it was like 30 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a freeze last night too.
Yeah, I had to bring the plants in.
Yeah.
I see me. Can y'all hear me? Oh, hear me.
I
Yeah.
can hear you, but I can't see you.
I can't see me neither. I must be blank. Anyway, let's see. I have my camera. Oh, I know what it is.
Put the on off that switch.
And
There you go.
Hey, Bill.
I covered my peephole so people couldn't watch me while I'm doing stuff in here.
Well, don't cover your pee hole. That'll be bad.
Yeah. I use rubber bands for that.
So what's up, Bill?
Anyway, not much. We're doing a lot of gardening work. My nose is still stuffed up because my eyes. Oh, geez. Every bit of pollen that's in South Louisiana went up my nose this afternoon.
I think every bit of pollen in Maryland is on the top of my car.
Yeah. So, what you guys been doing?
Not much.
Yeah.
Um,
Nola's getting excited for her trip to New Orleans.
I don't think she knows, but she'll be fine.
Okay. Do you have a yard at that place y'all going to be staying?
Yeah, actually we do.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, when y'all come over, you can feel free to bring her over and let her run around my yard.
Okay, she'll be happy about that.
Where's the house you're renting in New Orleans?
It's right up, it's close to where we had the apartment on by Arabella, but it's up by Chapatoulas. And I think it's pretty close to the Winn-Dixie store on Chapatoulas.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I looked at the map of where it is. It's like walking distance from all kind of nice little restaurants and even a grocery store and all that. You won't have to drive much if you don't want to.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. And I'm looking forward to being away from here for a while.
Yeah. It's raining stinging caterpillars in New Orleans right now. Out of all those old oak trees, it's that time of year. Those buckmoth caterpillars come out and they're a little more plentiful this year than they have been.
Hmm.
Yeah, so hopefully they won't be around much by the time y'all get here. But
I don't even remember the stinging caterpillars.
you don't? Well, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those oak trees in Uptown. Yeah, you have to be careful. It's sometimes during the year.
Well, we have up here the 17-year cicadas.
Oh, I
Yeah.
heard about those. Are
And
they out now?
no, they're coming out probably in a week or two. We've got all the new trees that have small vegetation on it. We got to cover with these nets, and it's amazing. I've been here twice when they've come out, and
Yeah.
like on the news, you hear them on every news report, And then after they go away, and if you hear an older news report that they did a little while ago, you'll hear all the cicadas in it. It's really loud.
Yeah, no, I heard that. I think they said they're gonna be like billions or trillions. I forgot how many they said there was
Yeah,
gonna be, but
I
it's
mean,
like
they
some
come out of the
incredible
ground
number.
and the ones I feel bad about, they bury themselves in the ground and sit there for 17 years. And what about the ones where they turned it into a parking lot and they come up and hit their head on the blacktop and said,
Yeah.
shit, I've been waiting 17 years for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I guess they gotta hang out longer. I don't know. Yeah. I guess that's why they have so many of them. They just they die within a couple of days, don't they? They just screw and
Yeah, I think
then
so.
die. Hmm. Yeah. I remember Bonnie and I used to watch this series called The Walking Dead. And I remember that they were talking about they were shooting in northern Georgia, and it got so bad up there they had to stop shooting the outdoor scenes for a while because nobody could hear anything with
I'm
the
sure.
cicadas. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's loud.
Yeah.
First time I was hearing it happen, it was just amazing that they'd all be out there making so much noise.
Yep.
Oh, Kim,
Hey, Jim.
Howdy do,
Happy,
howdy do.
happy birthday again.
Howdy.
Birthday. Happy birthday, really?
It was
Yeah,
yesterday,
well-
was it? Or 2 days ago?
Couple of days. No, it was just
Couple days ago.
2 days. Yeah, right. Two days
Okay.
ago. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Well, it was also Queen Elizabeth's birthday, but she doesn't celebrate it now.
Was-
Well, it was
She
on-
she celebrates in the summertime. I think it's a governmental thing. You can't celebrate in when it's rainy and rotten over here. You have to celebrate when it's nice. So
Oh, boy.
So Gim, just so because Ricky was asking me when the reunion is. So it's the 15th to the 17th of October, right?
check.
Okay.
Yep. I have a question for you, if you'd be kind enough.
Sure.
I've been trying to keep my update my list of people. And I have found about a dozen more that I didn't have on the list before, so they'll be on the next mailing. But if I go to your addressees for this particular session, there's somebody on there from Banjo Mobile. Who is that?
Banjo, let me look.
Hi, guys.
And Mike,
Oh,
Hi,
Mike, Mike,
How are y'all?
doing all right. Good to see you.
Very
You
good.
doing okay?
Gim, that's Richard Pearl.
Oh, is it really? Okay. Good for him. Haven't
Want me
seen
to
Richard.
send you this list?
Well, fine. And now I know who it is. I can,
I'll send
Yeah.
you this. I'll send you this list too that has the names.
oh, that's cool. That's
'Cause
cool.
I've added a couple people lately.
Then I'm out of date again. That's the problem with these damn lists. I mean, as soon as you do one, it's out of date.
Mm.
I have found that the old list that I have has now got 3 dead people in it, so I got to take them out.
There's no way to do a list that like you and I and whoever else has it, and then when I put something on it, it appears on yours. Is there?
No. Well, it probably is, but I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, I don't either.
Maybe if y'all shared
Yeah,
it
that
as
list-
if you shared it like
when I
as a
started-
Google document or something like that, I think anybody that updates it would,
I'll ask my wife. She knows this kind
Yeah.
of stuff. I don't.
yeah.
And there's another name on there, P Frenchy at me.com on your list. I wonder if that's Paul French.
P. Frenchy. I'm looking. Yeah, Paul French. P.
Okay,
Frenchy
because I have
at
a diff-
me.com.
He has a different address, a different email address that works. So I'm just going to ignore P Frenchy.
Well, do you have it right? Do you have the new address right there?
You do too. It's on your distribution.
Oh, okay. I'll find it.
P French at some number. Oh, wait a minute. I've got the damn thing right here. Let me get it there. He says Bowley. Where the hell is it?
Chris,
How you doing,
Hi,
Mike?
Chris. All right.
Oh,
Chris, hi.
Chris, nice to see you.
Good to be here.
Good to be anywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. French Paul, 214.
Right there. French.
French Paul, one word, 214. French Paul 214 at Gmail.
Okay.
That's the one I've been using for him and it works. So
Okay, I'll try it. I'll get rid of the old one.
Hey, Pete, I know
Yeah.
you asked about West Mix recently, and did you ask about West too, Bill?
West Mix.
Yeah, I know, Peter, you asked about West Mix, and I think I'm trying to remember if you asked about him, it was also what, Bill?
Well, I remember talking about him. Yeah, because he used to play several different instruments at the Mustache. I remember he'd played the trumpet and the banjo and the tuba. You know.
Yeah, I found out last Sunday about what's going on with him. He's been in a nursing home in the Denver metro area for about 3 years.
Oh.
And I guess it's a dementia thing, and I have good friends that go up to see him from time to time, and Dean's a bass player, and he said they took his trumpet up to him a few weeks ago and took it out of the case and handed it to him, and he went like this a few times on the valves and put it aside.
Uh-huh.
You know, so I haven't seen him in years, and he had gotten pretty nasty and belligerent and ornery the last few times I had seen him, but I don't wish that
Oh.
dementia thing on anybody. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
And you're right, Billy was a very talented guy. He played a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
instruments, a very good singer. He had knowledge of the old music down really good, and he was a great front.
Yeah.
But thanks,
Yeah,
Mike.
Yeah, we're all gonna get there.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
you're right. Unfortunately so.
Yeah. Well, my mom had dementia, but fortunately she was very pleasant about the whole thing. She was just happy. It was like she was living in Wonderland or something. If you'd come over and you'd bring a pie or something and for dinner, you know, for dessert. And she would just all of a sudden look over and she says, "Oh, look, I have a pie." Just like it magically appeared there, you know. And it was just, but she stayed pleasant, you know, until the day she passed. You know, we kept her in her house. I'm one of 5. We would take turns staying with her, and we had a day sitter. So it was, but I think that also helped her be happy. The fact that she was around surroundings that she still remembered. I think when you take some of these people with dementia and you put them in a place that they're not familiar with anything, you know, I think that kind of spurs them to be belligerent, you know.
My mom.
It kind of depends upon the level of dementia. I mean, if they're advanced dementia, then you can put them in a care facility because they don't recognize anything, basically.
Right.
Early on, you're quite right. I think you're right. Leave them in familiar surroundings with familiar people. But that's
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm not an expert in this stuff. I've just watched it happen a couple of times.
Yeah.
So,
There was
My mom had the
a,
disease that Ted Kennedy had, the tumor on the brain. And she told my 15-year-old son that men are only good for one thing, and that's about 7 minutes. And he
Oh.
loved
I hope
hockey.
he was old enough. I hope he was old enough to understand that.
Yeah, I think he was.
I worked with a, wait a minute. Cashew went down the wrong pipe.
Now, my grandmother would have said, "Cough it up, Pete. It might be a Ford."
Oh, Jesus.
Thanks. I worked with a banjo player named Bud Black.
Oh, yeah. Remember him.
He recently passed away. He has his son Scott Black, great cornet player. But he used to play at retirement centers. And he was doing the old songs of the 20s and 30s. And he saw this guy, he sang all the words to every song he did. When it was over, he went over and commented to the wife about how he knew all the words. And she said, "He doesn't even remember my name."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that happened to my dad. He when I put on his old cowboy songs he liked and all, he'd just start singing along with them. But otherwise, you know, you really couldn't communicate, you know, that much before he died. I think some parts of your brain, it just is preserved in amber or whatever you want to call it, just like it's just there till the very last, you know.
Well, it's kind of it's a documented phenomenon that the older you get, you remember things that happened in your childhood and in your youth, and you don't remember what happened yesterday.
Right.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
I mean, I've encountered this several times because a lot of the work I do these days is in a nursing home. And Christ, I wound up being older than some of the people that are there, but that's neither here nor there. But you know, you get into the old songs and they know all the words, and they know that Harry James took this particular solo, and they know that, you know, Glenn Miller did that song, and that dan. You know, it's
Yeah.
so those memories live on. They do.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. My mom's geriatric psychiatrist described it. She says it's like a movie playing backwards. Like that's why she no, seriously, and like, because towards the end, she knew that she knew me, but she figured I must have went to school with her, or, you know, lived
Oh,
near
yeah.
her when she was in the Irish Channel, you know, because she didn't even remember being married. I'd show her pictures of her and dad. She says, who is that man? Why is he kissing me? You know, things like that, you know. So in her mind, she didn't even remember being married or having kids, but she knew me.
You know,
She just didn't know why she knew me. So it's
But
kinda
basically what you're
strange.
saying, Bill, is we're all going to end up back at the mustache when we were.
Yeah.
Well, when I regress to the 70s, you know, I'll be singing, you know, somebody stole my gal for no reason.
I already do that. So
I'm
Trying to
gonna
fill
hear
up-
that song in my sleep tonight. Thanks, Bill.
Or just walk up and start pouring people's beer into their glasses for them, you know, for no reason. There, let me fill that up for you, sir. There you go. Yeah. Anyway, so is New York, this is off the subject, but did New York go legal with marijuana, or there's something they're still talking about?
I think they're talking about it, but the federal law said that it's outlawed.
yeah, there's been this conflict between the federal law and the various states like Colorado, Oregon, and
Mhm.
I know Connecticut and New York and New Jersey are either, they're thinking about it, and it's real close. I think it's real close to being adopted in all three states.
Mhm. Yeah.
The question is, you know, there's a lot of nuance to this, because you got to coexist with the federal law. So the people in Oregon, for instance, who sell the stuff can sell it only for cash. You can't have a credit card, and they can't deduct expenses on their tax returns. And so it's a bizarre situation. It's really strange. It's really
Yeah, it's the
strange.
same in Colorado, Kim.
Yeah.
And they can't have bank accounts or anything. It's a strictly cash basis. And
Yeah.
although it's legal in the states, that's based on federal government
Yeah.
restrictions.
Exactly.
They're trying to
Because
change.
federal laws are banking laws. And so, you
Yeah.
know, so where are you going to find a bank to take this basket full of cash that you got? I mean, that's the problem they have.
So then if
Funny.
you pay your state taxes, do you just pay them in cash?
I would imagine. Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
No, I was
heard
gonna say-
recently that New York's going to stop prosecuting prostitution.
That's right. I read that in the paper today. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, there was actually a Republican representative in Louisiana that proposed legalizing prostitution in Louisiana, you know, which I thought was so bizarre. But she was saying, you know, like, well, they're going to do it anyway. Why don't we collect some tax money off of it? So that's the
Well,
spirit, you know.
That argument is pretty weak, because that means you can justify damn near anything based on its taxability, and that strips aside any issue of morals or ethics or respect for it's a dangerous path to take.
Yeah. And I just thought it was odd that it was a Republican. You know, they usually tend to be real conservative here, but it was in Louisiana, and she's also, you know, pushing to
That is
legalize
true.
marijuana too. You know.
That is strange.
Yeah,
That is
she's not in
strange.
our district. I just thought that was weird. Yeah.
Well, she may be a rhino.
A rhino.
Could be.
Republican in name only. But I think they're mostly Republicans in Louisiana, aren't they, Billy?
Yeah, once you get out of New Orleans and some areas of Baton Rouge. Yeah.
Used to be such a strong Democratic place.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, yeah. But when the symbol for the Democrats in Louisiana for years was a rooster. It wasn't a donkey. And the people just knew to go vote the rooster. So that was the thing. No matter who wanted to run, whether it was 5 or 6 Democrats running against each other, they all jockeyed to who was going to have the rooster symbol next to their name. Because a lot of people just go out there and vote for a rooster. You know, that was years ago, back in the Huey Long days and all.
Well, when I worked at the Mustache in New Orleans, if you didn't have your name on the Swagman's grocery store bag, you would never get elected.
Yeah.
Do they still have the Huey P. Long Bridge?
Oh yeah.
It's still called that?
Yeah, the Huey P. Long Bridge is still there. In fact, they upgraded it. It looks real nice now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a rickety old bridge before. I mean, like if you were on that thing and a truck was next to you and the train was on the trestle, you thought the whole bridge was going to fall into the Mississippi River. But no, they widened it, and it's real nice now.
Let's hear it for infrastructure.
Yeah.
But the UEP Long Bridge is too low for the ships to get upriver, isn't it? Wasn't it built for that?
No, you can get ships under the UEP. You know, one of them hit the bridge many years ago, and caused some damage. But if you're driving right, I guess you can get under it.
Hi, Jamie.
Hello, everyone.
Jamie?
Brother
Hello.
Bryce, Brother
Hello,
Bryce.
hello. I had such a good time last week. I came back.
Glad to see you again.
Likewise.
Yeah, we're talking about brain tumors.
Glad I came.
Well, you'll fit right in. You'll fit right in.
All right.
Well,
Yeah, as long as you got some white hair, you're in.
I got plenty of that.
Yeah.
You got more than most of us, actually.
But I'm the kid in the band still, remember? I'm much younger than you are.
It's all true. It's all true.
It's all true.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday, Kim. It was just what, yesterday or today?
It was 2 days ago, but yeah,
Days ago, yeah. Well, happy birthday, old man.
it's amazing that all you guys knew that.
It was on Facebook, man.
Pops up on Facebook.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
That's my brains these days. I log on Facebook. Oh, it's so and so's birthday today.
Yeah.
Cool. Except I didn't know you had all those names. I'm just used to
Well,
seeing them.
that's so that anybody who searches it can find it.
Okay.
So it's got my real name and my nickname built into it. That's all.
Oh, okay.
And you're a Graham.
That wasn't my idea. That was my wife's idea. She knows more about these things than I do, so I went along with it.
I do too.
Like go along with his wife?
No. That would be- So, Gim, what do we know about the reunion?
Well, Marty and Joel are cooking up a budget, which we have to go through. And because now they got enough things in place that they can start figuring out who's gonna do what to whom with how many people and that sort of thing. And we won't really know until we get another mailing out and then some people, committing to come. Right now, we got a lot of, I'll be happy to be there. You can count me in the kind of things, but no one's made a firm commitment that they'll be there. I mean, I don't regard it as firm. I suspect everybody's sincere about what they say, but
Well, there's a lot of ifs, depending on if we have another resurgence or something.
well, yeah, I mean, it's all COVID dependent. I mean, if
Canada's starting to shut. Canada's saying you got to stay in your province right now, in your health district.
Yeah. Ontario's especially bad.
I know they got
normally-
a problem. I didn't realize they'd taken that move.
Well,
Yeah, they should.
My
They need
wife,
to.
my wife's nephew plays with the Toronto Blue Jays, but they can't go back and forth to Canada.
No.
So they play in Dunellen, Florida.
Right, exactly. Their home games are in Florida, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Canada's in a mess. They're trying to get a whole lot of vaccine, buy it and get it in there so they can catch up with their problem.
Yeah, that's.
In
that's
fact,
a
the
big
rest
problem.
of with the exception of Israel, UK, and us, the rest of the world is still in a terrible situation with COVID.
But then that's
I mean,
the industrialized countries are going to eventually get the vaccine, but then the poor countries aren't going to have it, so it's still going to be a major problem.
oh yeah, and that's the issue. I mean, this is a global thing. You got to whip it in all countries. You just can't, if we get our herd immunity, that's fine. But it's still a problem because people come and go in this country. I mean, how many millions of people move in and out of this country every day? And if they go to Europe or if they go to Africa or India, worse yet, they'll bring the goddamn thing home.
Plus the influx of the Hondurans and Guatemalans.
Oh yeah,
pouring
Latin
into our
Latin
country.
America and South America are getting worse. Argentina is in a terrible situation. So Chile.
Yeah, Brazil's horrible.
Oh, Brazil's worst of all. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
because of that foolish bastard who's running the country, burning up the Amazon and then ignoring COVID. I mean, if anybody should be impeached, it's him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I shouldn't get started on politics. It's bad for my blood pressure.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Yeah. Bonnie would always make me come watch the TV by myself when the news was on, when the politicians, when the things were, Bonnie said, can you just keep it down? Okay, I'll go watch it in the back. Because I could not yell at the TV.
Yeah.
Oh, yelling at the TV is fine. It's when you get around to throwing things, that's when it gets bad.
Yeah. No, but I was just because I don't know the area up there. I know you said it's right across from New York City. Where we're going to be having the reunion in Connecticut.
Well, I wouldn't call 100 miles just across the river, but
Okay.
New Haven is not quite halfway between Boston and New York.
Oh, okay.
If you landed at Kennedy, it would be an hour and a half drive up to New Haven, something like that.
Mhm.
Of course, that means going up Route 95, which means an hour and a half drive is going to take 2.5 hours. So,
yeah.
If you're lucky.
yeah. Well, Route 95 is a disgrace, all the way from Maine to Key West. It really is. It's just terrible.
Yep.
Yeah.
And is the other option flying into Boston and coming down, or?
Yeah. Well, if you've never seen Boston, it's worth it. If you've never seen New York, it's worth staying some time there. I mean, New York is a magnificent city. It's like no other. But Boston is colonial and charming, and there's a lot going on there too. Very, 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 very
Fly into
accessible.
New Haven.
Sorry,
Fly into New Haven.
you can fly to New Haven. You can't fly direct to New Haven from New Orleans, but you can fly probably fly to New York and change a plane for Tweed Airport. Tweed Airport is New Haven's airport.
Kim, what's the airport that's just north of New Haven? The other Connecticut town. It's
You
a
mean
bigger airport. What?
the bigger airport is
Hartford.
is Bradley Airport, and it's about maybe 10 miles north of Hartford. And that makes it about maybe 45-minute drive down Route 91 to New Haven. That's an easy drive.
That's what I did last time. I rented a car up there, and then it was just like an hour and a half, like an hour drive to get from there.
That's probably safe. It depends on what time of day and the weather and all that kind of thing. Yeah. If you knew where you were going and you got a good start and there was clear roads, and you would get to New Haven rather quickly. Yeah.
I think that's what we did, Kim, when the Connecticut Festival was going on. Flew into Hartford.
Hello, everybody.
Wherever the festival was.
Hey, Ira.
Hey, Ira.
How you doing?
Uh,
Boy, it's getting smaller. 10 people, 9 people.
Well, you weren't here, so nobody wanted to stay.
Yeah.
Rick left.
Have we gotten an update from Marty Fay? What's going on?
I just asked that. And
Yeah, we're talking about New Haven. I've never been there before, so I was just getting the logistics of it.
That's
New Haven's
the
a, New Haven is a, well, it's a city. I mean, it's a real city. No skyscrapers. The area we're going to be in is in downtown New Haven, and that's dominated by Yale University. And that's because Yale is everywhere in that section of town. There's some decent shopping. There's some good restaurants. I don't think we'll be bothering with those because we're gonna provide either food or try to provide the access to it in some manner. That's what Joel and Marty are working out.
Are they working on accommodations?
Oh yeah, there's a hotel, the name of which I forget because I'm not involved in that. But we'll be going over a budget real soon as to how to sell the tickets, who to sell the tickets to, what to charge for the tickets, and how many hotel rooms to be sure to lock up, and et cetera. And I know Marty's dealing with the theater. We'll do 2 shows in the same theater, and the theater is going to be a short walk from the hotel, according to Joel.
so when you say theater, is it like a performing center, or is it a college dorm, or is it a college stage, or are there lights? Is there audio?
That's a bloody good question. I don't really know. I think it's part of of a music school. I think it's part of a music school.
Okay.
So it's an auditorium kind of deal, I think.
So hopefully the acoustics are good.
But I'm really guessing. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
If I learn, as soon as I learn more, or we'll drag Marty into one of these meetings, and he can explain it to us.
Yeah.
Because they're on site up in New Haven, and I'm not. I'm an hour away, so I don't go up there except once in a while.
Well, Joel's been talking to me about the photos and the video, and I've been asking him questions, but I don't get a very good answer back.
Well, you know, Joel, that's typical. Yeah, I was the one who suggested you and Bill to him, and he said let Tom work with Bill if they want to do things together or however. And so I saw the note he sent you. And,
well, I was asking him if for the video, there's a lot of ways of doing it. Do you have one camera up and you just record it, or do you have a couple of cameras and edit it, or which all makes a big difference?
At Carnegie Hall, they just had a fixed camera in the back. It looked like pretty much,
Right.
Well, I mean, not really. If you look at the video that of the Carnegie Hall concert, I mean, there's more than one angle there.
I don't remember
okay.
more than one angle, Kim.
Well, I frankly haven't. I've only listened to parts of it. I've not watched it. It's 2 hours long, so I haven't watched the whole thing. And I be quite frank, I've watched the first 30, 40 minutes of it, and then sections thereafter.
Yeah, I think they might have zoomed in and out a bit, but I don't remember seeing more than one.
Well, you guys have taken a more critical view of this thing than I have. I think I probably.
I was just curious because, well, if Tom and I end up doing it, of course, like I said, everything's tenuous. I mean, right now I can't guarantee anything for the end of October because of, how on my situation, having to help Bonnie. But right now she told me I could definitely go, but you never know if something's going to happen, but right now the plans are for me to fly up and meet Tom in DC, well, in Maryland, and then drive up with him with a car full of stuff. Yeah. So it's, and I'm fine with shooting, if I'm going to be there. So there's no problem with that.
Well, but what I'm trying to tell Joel is, okay, I'm pretty sure I can be there and I can do the photos and I can throw up a camera and do a lockdown shot if Bill, if something happens and Bill can't come. But I don't want Joel to think he's getting this 3-camera production out of this, and I'm the only guy there. So I'm
I
just
don't
trying.
think Joel expects
Well,
that.
why don't you send Marty a note and ask him for a schematic of the theater or whatever it is, auditorium
Jim
that we're
Marty,
that we're gonna be in.
I guess
And
Marty's-
Barry.
yeah.
Very,
Hey, yo.
Madam Mayor?
Barry,
And
Marty, I'm sure, has more information about the whatever performing venue we have. And maybe he can tell you what kind of equipment they have and what the layout is, and then you can get some feeling for it at least.
Yeah.
And then you can perhaps make a tentative suggestion to Joel. Hey, I think we need 3 cameras, or 1 will do, or we need 4 more people, or whatever the hell it is. And
How does he know the venue? We don't know how many people are coming.
no, we don't know how many people are coming.
No,
We
I
don't know how many
frankly think,
tickets will be sold. I mean, we might need a venue only for 100 people.
Oh, I think the venues are more than that. I think, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred, more than that. I
Well,
really
that would
don't,
be good.
I really don't know. I've had conversations and numbers have been mentioned, but I can't remember them all. And I didn't write them down, and I've got nothing in writing. So I'm just guessing like you are.
Marty will probably have a lot more information than we do.
Oh, well, he sure does. I mean, he's working with all the venues, the hotels, and the theater, whatever that is, and places to eat, and for our Saturday afternoon party, he's got us a place to serve, to have the Galvanized Jazz Band perform for us, and we could sit in if we wish, and pizza and beer, and he's got some joint that does that. But I don't know where it is, and I don't know where it is, and so I don't have any details on that, except that I know there is one.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and we're gonna we'll party on Friday night at the hotel.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I think I'm all in favor of that.
yeah,
yeah,
There he is.
And I guess that means I have to stay at the hotel too, because I don't want to be crawling. I don't want to be crawling home on Route 95 with a snoot full.
you don't want to be crawling home on Route 95 if you're sober.
Ever.
yeah.
Avoid that road, I tell you.
Well, I just
I
hope it
know we
works
had
out.
in '87, we had a nice venue on Friday night. Wasn't it like a basement bar?
It was the basement of Joel's office building,
Oh, is that what it was? That was
I
perfect.
think. Yeah,
That was a perfect venue.
it was perfect. And you know what? They had a little bandstand with a PA system on it, about 2 or 3 mics, and that's
Yeah.
it.
It was ideal. That was Friday night.
Yeah.
Then Saturday was what, at the Palace Theater or something like that?
Saturday
Somewhere.
afternoon was a tent out on Long Island.
No, I'm talking about at night.
Night was the Palace Theater, yeah, on Saturday.
Right, the Palace. But Saturday afternoon was right on the Long Island Sound, I think.
Yeah.
That was nice.
That was nice.
That was real good. Well, we'll see what happens. Marty's the
I'm
one
s-
who's going to know everything.
I'm sorry I missed that 87 party. I really do.
It
a
was
good one.
great. I think it was better than Carnegie.
Yeah, that was the best one.
Well,
Yeah, I
we
missed it
were
too.
we were all younger then, of course.
Yeah,
it was
that's it, Jim.
good. Of
Exactly
course
right.
That's true.
87. Shit, 87 was what, 40 years ago, for God's sakes. No.
It's 33,
Holy,
30,
More than that.
35.
30 years ago, 35 years
30
ago.
some, yeah.
Holy
44.
Toledo. 35 years ago, Lord, oh, love us. Oh, whew.
Yeah, I
That
had more
was a
brain. I
great
had a-
reunion. That was done perfectly. I forgot what we did Sunday, Barry. What did we do Sunday there?
We,
was
we
a- it
met
was a
at a
brunch.
at a
It was a
bar
brunch at
and
the
listened to the
old restaurant.
Galvanized Jazz Band.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Brunch at a restaurant called the Old Grist Mill.
I love that reunion.
Yeah, that was great.
That was good. Well, this one will be good too. We'll just have a few less people.
I remember that the late nights, if you go downtown where we were staying, the hotel and the Palace Theater had different bars in town. You had the Denver band set up one place, the New Orleans band, the New York band, they set up at different venues. You remember that?
No, I
Yeah.
don't remember that.
Yeah.
I think I went to bed.
Went to bed.
That's
You
probably
were
what I did.
35 years old, Chris.
No, well, what was I in 87? I was
38,
40.
Yeah,
40.
we were still young then.
We're still
Even you,
young.
Chris.
We're still young now.
We're still young, Bear.
Yeah. Barry, we were talking about dementia and how you kind of, it's like a movie going backwards and you end up at your first part of your life. And so we're all going to get dementia and we're going to end up back at the mustache.
Yeah.
If they never closed, we'd probably all still be there.
Probably. I know it's one of the best jobs I've ever had. Didn't make any money, but
You're gonna have to put out those red and white checkered tablecloths in the lunch room for us at the nursing home.
Yeah. Those were the days.
yeah, well, my nursing home's going to have Milton Mary in it. So well, it's a lively group today.
Has anybody spoken to Joel in the last couple of weeks?
I mean, I got an email from him about doing the video and the photography, but that was
Did you
just an email.
Did you get any information?
No, and I asked,
Hmm.
but Kim was telling me to talk to Marty.
Yeah, Marty's reasonable. He's also fairly efficient. So he's a good source of information, particularly the stuff that you want to know.
Yeah. Well, once
Where
you
does
find
Marty-
out that,
What town does Marty live in?
I don't know, except that it's local to New Haven.
Yeah, I know that.
well, once you find out the venue, they might have the name of an AV person that's associated with it. We could just call them and find out everything we need to know.
That's a good point.
That's usually what I end up doing when people call me for a job. I find out the people that I'm going to need to talk to when I get to the venue and where I get my sound hook up and where I'm going to set up my camera and all that, so that you just don't walk in and try to figure it out as you're showing up, you know.
Well, guys,
think
I
we can-
need to go.
All right, Peter, take care, man.
Okay, bye to you.
Heading out, Pete.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I gotta.
Hey, Pete,
Have a good
Okay.
week. Have a
Have a
good
good
week,
week.
Peter.
Go. Be
See you
safe.
next weekend.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
bye, Pete.
Take care.
Take care. So we got to talk David into coming up to the reunion.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we picking them up on the way or what?
Well, you could pick him up on the way. It's a
Yeah.
little out of my way.
Yeah. We can rendezvous in Dollywood and hook them up.
Hey, one of my favorite places.
Hey, Dottie.
Hi, Dottie.
Harry, you're muted.
Okay, now you're on.
There
Dottie.
you go.
I want
Hey,
you.
Daddy.
I lost you guys.
Yeah, because I put my earpods on and I started listening to y'all.
Oh,
That's your first
Ah.
mistake listening to any of us.
shove your husband out of the way and get in the picture. There you
There
go.
you go.
That works.
Dottie, makes you look good.
Hey, Barry, you still working one night at Fritzl's?
I'm working one night at Fritzl's, but I was telling y'all, I don't know when I was cut off, but Danny called me, said Monday and Tuesday nights, but it's 5-hour gigs. I said, you know what? I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to do it.
Oh, where
Did you
was
get a
it?
nap?
Yeah,
Where was it,
5
Barry?
hour. Huh?
Where was the gig?
At the Maison Bourbon on
Oh, that's-
Bourbon and St. Peter.
That's
Yeah.
where Danny works.
Yeah. And I said, and it's only a trio thing,
5 hours.
5 hours trio. And I said,
Mhm.
you know what? I'm playing music not for the money, for the enjoyment, but 2 5-hour things, that's not enjoyable to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With just 3 people, they probably notice if you're taking a nap.
Oh, back
Yeah.
in the mustache days, we were in our 20s. I mean, 5 hours didn't make a shit of difference to us then. Now,
Sure.
5 hours will freaking kill me.
We had, I remember in New York, it was 6 hours, 9 to 3 on Fridays and 10 to 4 on Saturdays.
Right.
Brutal. I couldn't, no,
Right.
anything more than about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours is about the limit. How would you care about these days?
And he's gonna make a 5-hour gig, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
Well, he's been working, I think, hasn't he? And so he's in fighting trim, so he can cut it.
Well, he was out for COVID too,
Oh,
so he got out of shape. I mean, I see him and talk to him every day,
sure.
He was out of shape, but he's getting back in. He's been playing 2 or 3 times a week now for the last 5 weeks, so
Ooh, nice.
he's getting back in shape.
Well, when Tom and Emily come in town, they're gonna be here in another week or so. We'll come down and see you and Danny.
Well, I'm on Wednesday
Downtown.
nights. I'm Wednesday
Yeah.
nights. He's Thursday and Saturday, I believe.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, John McLaren sent us a note, and he
Good.
said regarding the chat of last week, I think there was an illusion among tuba players that the banjo players had better luck with the girls, which of course was a fallacy. Just ask Danny Rubio. By the time they realized their mistake, tuba replacements had been hired, and the switch-hitting banjo players went home alone forever. John.
Well, John, if you're listening, you couldn't be more wrong.
Well, as I recall, there was enough to go around, so I had no complaints.
Certainly in the New York club, between the nurses at St. Vincent's and all of the flight attendants, who were then called stewardesses, the place was just always jammed with beautiful girls. That's all I know.
It was fine. That was the formula, by the way, which is hire young men like what we were.
Long time ago.
And the girls will come, and when the girls come, the boys will come, and that was kind of the way it worked. It was a kind of a very benign boy meet girl kind of bar. That's what it was.
And it was that, not only New York, but New Orleans too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was the whole theory of the attraction there.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, my wife is a stewardess, which I met there. So it's
Oh, really? Okay.
oh yeah,
But you met your wife at your father's mustache.
absolutely.
Same here.
Which club?
Same here.
Which club, Kim?
The New York Club.
Oh,
Actually, it was a funny thing that she walked through the door with a friend of mine from Boston, and my friend from Boston was also Joel's friend. Eventually, his Joel's girlfriend, but that's another story. But there were 5 of them, and they had all just become United Stewardesses. And she walked through the door, and I said, "There's my old buddy from New York, from Boston, with 4 beautiful women. I ought to be able to do something with that." And it worked out.
well, that's
So
good.
far, so good, right,
far.
Kim?
So far, so good.
Well, my wife, David Krittner, gave her to me. My wife threw up at a beer chugging contest. David picked her up over his shoulder. I was working the door on a Saturday night. He sets her down in front of me and says, "Do not let her back in."
Ooh,
David,
She
you
had to
did
wait
that?
outside for her friends.
I was thinking about that. That's pretty sad, wasn't it?
So we
David,
talked.
you were always a mean old guy. Jeez.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't throw any sailors out, but I threw Emily out.
Threw Emily out.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but then, well, Tom, you finished telling the story that Emily hung up with you that whole time, and then y'all didn't start dating until years later, though.
Oh yeah, it was a different city 5 years later when I saw her 3 times at the bar and we always talked, but then I just knew her name as Emily and I moved to Baton Rouge And I saw her in Bon Marché Mall, and I said, "Hey, you're Emily." And she said, "Oh, you're the bartender."
Funny.
Took her name down, and that was that. We went out and started dating. Of course, the first night I went out with her, I don't know what to say to her because I've only seen her in a bar. And it was a Saturday night, and I said, "Well, hey, what'd you do last night?" And she was teaching at the LSU vet school, and she goes, "Oh, we gave a root canal to Mike the Tiger." Well, that took up the whole evening.
Yeah.
Because, the first question, as a journalist, the first question is, how did you know Mike the Tiger needed a root canal?
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, he wasn't eating." I said, "Okay."
Okay.
Funny.
Well,
That was
I remember spending time with Gim and his wife in Carnegie with Dottie.
That's right. Yeah.
Two banjo players with two women that we met at the Mustache.
Beautiful women.
Yeah. You know who else? Franny Smith. Y'all know Franny?
Oh, very well.
Great guy.
Franny
Good
Smith.
guy.
I met his wife, and his wife is a dietitian, just like my wife. So we had a whole lot in common. Banjo player marries dietitian.
What happened to you, Barry? And you're married to a dietitian, and look at you.
Well, I told her to keep. She tells me to keep my banjo playing away from the house. I tell her to keep the nutrition away from the house.
Yeah. Franny is very good friends with John McLernan.
That's
Right.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Right.
Well, the two of them and Herb Roselle and I forget the others in the band, but they had a band that played a lot in Atlantic City. I think it was called the Atlantic Jazz Band or something like that fashion.
Right. Before that, they did Wildwood at the Red Garter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one of these times, John's going to have to come on here.
He was
got
on once, I
time,
think.
but he didn't show his face. He was just
Right. Right.
a disembodied voice.
Because I can tell from the emails he sends, he watches every YouTube that
Yeah.
I send out.
Yes, he does. He's and he does communicate. I mean, I get a note, or at least a note, or maybe 2 or 3 a week from him on one subject or another. We swap a lot of jokes and then send comments to go with them.
Your jokes have been pretty good lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a backlog. I have to clean that sucker out.
Joke du jour.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, I got some nutty friends who find the damnedest things, and they send them. I get everything coming over the transom. It's just it's amazing. I try to avoid the political jokes, particularly during the election. They get pretty nasty, so I try to avoid those.
Oh,
There's
look,
John.
There's
That's
John.
John, second from the left.
There's a very young John.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's,
anybody else in that picture.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. We're all holding our balls proudly.
You hold your
That
balls
was
up.
your father's mustache bowling team in New Orleans, 1971. I'm all the way on the left. John McLaren, Randy Ali, and Ed Ali, and Joe Mullane. Yeah. Now the two Alis. Well, John was actually a good bowler, and the two Alis grew up. Their dad owned a bowling alley, and Joe didn't bowl that good, but he distracted the other team with talking to him. And yeah, he had a good gift for gab. We won the league that year too. Yeah.
And look at Eddie Alley with his mustache T-shirt on.
Yeah. I used to have one of those. Now it's mostly holes, or I think it's gone, Yeah.
Huh.
I wish I could find the template. I'd love to have another your father's mustache T-shirt with the old logo on it.
Well, write a note to Joel. Maybe he can get some done for the reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
If you want to do that, you better speak to Marty.
I think so.
I don't know how much, I don't know
I
how
think
much
so.
Joel's doing.
Yeah. In fact, wasn't it Jeff that at one of our meetings on Zoom, he said that he was the actual model for the mustache
For the logo? Who, Jeff?
That's what he said. He said
That logo looks nothing like Jeff.
no, but it was somebody was on our meeting. It was
I think you're
lamb
right.
chops or whatever you call it, they came down. Somebody on one of our meetings said that they were that somebody wanted to take a picture of them while they were designing the.
I think
original
you're
logo.
right. I think you're right, Bill, because early on, Jeff's mustache was the curly Q version
Mhm.
with all the wax and all this stuff. And that's that's basically the logo.
Yeah.
So it's quite possible that was the, or it's also quite possible that he just wanted to take credit for it too.
I would say that I'm looking at Dave, Jamie and Mike
Yeah.
Johnson. I don't know, that looks nothing like Jeff to me.
No,
Yeah.
This is when I had made
Not
up
the
the
face
world,
necessarily, but he said the lamb, what do they call those when the
Mutton chops.
Mutton chop.
mutton chops? Yeah, not lamb chops. Yeah.
Uh,
The Wolverine.
It's an old lamb. It's an old lamb. It's mutton.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mary had a little one. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that was just because I remember you would have to rewind all those Zoom meetings to find the discussion, but somebody that we were on Zoom with took credit for being the model for the mustache logo.
Bill, do you have one of the old mustache business cards by any chance?
Mustache business cards?
Yeah.
I
You have
do,
any?
if I can find it.
Yeah, let me see if I.
Well, the reason I'm asking, I had that patch and this made a few years ago. They took it off the mustache business card at an embroidery place here in town. And you can get it taken off by a good artist, a good place, and have it made in. There you go.
Yeah.
If you want to
There's
do
a-
it, have it and use it, and have it made up, you can do that.
There's a band card. I think they found it in the bathroom or something somewhere. It looks like it's a little messed up. Yeah. I'm not sure what band member that was.
I've got a stack of them in my drawer somewhere.
I got some of them too.
If you don't have it, Bill, if you want a copy of that stuff I just showed you, send me your email, email me your postal mailing address, and I'll send you a couple of them.
What, the cards?
Well, they're not the card, but the things I had made up that just came directly off of it. You could probably use that.
That's a
Yeah.
patch, right, Mike?
One's a fabric patch embroidered, and the other one's just a printed sticker.
Oh, okay.
Just make,
Yeah, you
Yeah, I'm
gave
sure
me
you-
a sticker. I've
yeah,
got a sticker.
I handed those out down at Clearwater. Got
Right,
a bunch of them,
right.
and I gave them to everybody. And I had some more made up a while back.
They
Good
pop
space,
up once
Nate.
in a while on eBay. You can see a card on eBay once in a while.
Yeah, our mustache stuff comes up on there occasionally.
And the mugs are always on eBay.
Yeah,
And most
Yeah.
of the bugs on eBay, they're all from New Orleans.
Yeah, because we
You
made
notice
them,
that?
you could not get a beer in New Orleans unless you bought a mug.
Oh,
You
really?
could not get an individual beer. If you didn't want a pitcher, you had to buy the mug. Now
And
you
we
could
give
get
you
your
money
money,
back.
you
if
could
We
get your
never
money
had that
back.
in New York.
But
No, you
nobody
could
got
get
their
your money back at the end of the night if you wanted to, but you
Oh,
had to
really?
turn it in yourself. The waiter would not turn it in for you. And we couldn't accept it as a tip either. The people would say, well, you just keep the mug as your tip. No, you got to go get the $1.75 and give it to me.
But it
I've
worked.
got mustache mugs from Denver and New Orleans and New York, plus I've got 2 improper Bostonian mugs.
Yeah. Now this thing I got on eBay a long time ago. It's I don't know what it was. It was it's a bigger mug.
Looks
And on
like
the
a
back of
16
it-
ounce.
And on the back of it, it has all these clubs names.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Bill gave me this one, and
Yeah, that's supposedly
This
one of
is
the
just
original.
small.
There's no club name on the front.
Yeah, not on this one. This looks like it was yeah. Yeah, the one I gave Tom, so Roger one time said that was the original mustache mug that they first started selling in
because it's a
New
lot
Orleans.
smaller.
Yeah. And it has the club's names on the back too. Yeah.
Oh,
And Jamie, yours don't have a city on it, does it?
No,
No, it doesn't. No.
No, but
I don't know where
yeah,
it came
there's
from. Somebody gave it to me. I didn't keep anything. People give me stuff.
I have a bunch from New Orleans and New York, but that's it. I don't
I
have
got one of
any-
those.
I
I
have
got
a
one of
New
those
York.
downstairs. I'll have to look.
New
I got
York, New
one of those
Orleans, and
downstairs.
Denver, but the Denver one is brown.
Well,
Yeah.
Due to age, probably, huh?
I'll have to look. I got one of those downstairs in my workshop. It's got a bunch of screwdrivers in it now.
Look at that.
That's the one
Oh,
from
that
Denver.
Oh, I never ever saw one of those. That's cool, man.
That's good.
The only ones I ever saw for Denver were the
Really?
regular white ones.
Somebody must have custom made that one. Y'all didn't sell those in Denver, huh?
No, I've never seen those.
I don't know where I got it. I don't remember.
Larimer Square, I think it said on the front, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where
Larimer
the club
Square,
was.
Denver.
That's,
The club was in Larimer Square.
That's the coolest one I've seen, Ira.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice.
that's a nice one. I don't
Yeah.
remember where I got it.
Hmm.
Mike, you don't remember this at all?
No, I've never seen anything like that before I read. I was there pretty much from March of 1970 until it closed.
Maybe it's worth a lot of money.
Who knows?
Oh, yeah, they just dying to get that. Yeah. Collection.
No, but all the
I
others
guess-
I have are white with the club location on the front.
Right. Yeah, I've got a Larimer Square one, like just a regular old one. That looks just like the New Orleans one, just has Larimer Square on the front.
It's
Yeah.
just like
white
Denver
one,
on
yeah.
it.
Mine does, Larimer Square, Denver.
I wondered, Ira, did he have different producers of those mugs depending on the club or what? Do you
Not
know?
that I know. It was all done by McCoy Pottery.
McCoy Pottery.
Yeah. So I don't remember where I got this.
But I'll tell you what, New Orleans, like we went through some of those mugs.
Yeah.
God, yes.
Well, we sold
Yeah.
a lot of them.
We sold a lot of them because we forced people to buy them.
Yeah.
But you couldn't buy a regular mug of beer in New Orleans?
No,
No.
you
Ever.
had
to get
you had to buy the mustache cup. And
Or a
it
picture.
was $2.25. But if you wanted to get $1.75 back, you could turn in your mug when you left.
Probably nobody turned them in.
So a beer was
Very
75
few.
cents. You get it? The beer was 75 cents.
Mhm.
And you refilled their mug. You know, they would give it to you when they were empty, you know. I used to love to go to the table. You pick up about 5 or 6 mugs. I'll bring those back. You're gonna give me my mug back, huh? Oh yeah, sure. You're gonna get it, Roach. I'll get this all straight in. You know, I didn't have lipstick on. What?
But you
New
know
York
what?
never
From
had
what I
that.
remember, the people didn't bitch about that policy at all. I don't
No.
remember us having any trouble with that. You, David? No, huh?
there was some people that complained, but no, it worked out
But
well.
not often, not
Yeah.
often.
No. In fact,
But we
You
didn't
couldn't
listen
get
to
away
their
with that
complaint.
today.
no, in fact, they were doing the same thing at Pat O'Brien's. If you wanted to get a hurricane, you had to buy the hurricane glass.
Right.
And they would fill it up for you. Now you could get your money back, but after you got sloshed drinking that 24 ounces of rum, people just wanted to walk down the street with it, you know. So
sure.
that's pretty much what we did with the mustache mugs too.
And
And it was good advertising for us. People walking down the street carrying their mustache mug and with their hat on and everything.
And then we had the Mug Club. Y'all remember that? The Mug
We
Club,
had the mug club in New York.
where people would buy their mug and put their name on the bottom of it. They'd hang on the ceiling.
Yeah, we had them.
Oh,
We
really?
had that in New York.
They would hang on the ceiling, and on Mug Club night or whatever, I forgot how it worked. Somebody would grab this stick and pull their mug off the rafters, pull it down. They drank out of their mug, and then they only paid 75 cents a beer.
Right, because it was their mug already.
Yeah.
Right.
And we kept it in the most clean environment possible.
Exactly.
Up on the ceiling. And I'm sure the rats got up there too.
Now they were too busy with the peanuts.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
they did like the
Okay.
peanuts. I remember that.
They did.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
We
Late
didn't
at
have a,
night.
we didn't have a rat problem in New York because we had Rhubarb, the cat.
We had cats, but still.
Yeah. Ludi and Gretchen. Yeah.
Well, the rat problem in New York that I recall was such that even rhubarb couldn't keep up with it. I mean, he or she gave it a valiant effort, but you wouldn't want to stick after the bar closed and you were grabbing one last handful of peanuts. You had to be careful putting your hand in that damn barrel because there might be somebody else in there working on it. So, and you didn't want to run afoul of one of those guys because a New York City rat is a dangerous beast.
Yeah.
Well, Peter tells a story. Peter left us, but Peter tells a story. One Mardi Gras in New Orleans, we're up on a bandstand. The place is packed. We're playing some fast number, and some rat runs across the bandstand. And Joel looks up and says, "Fire the cat."
Okay, guys, I'm going to check out for the week,
Yeah.
and I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Good night.
Okay.
Hey, Tom, see if you can get Marty here next
Adios.
week.
I'll try. I got to call him anyway, so I'll check with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys,
All
have a
right.
good
All
week.
right.
See y'all.
All
Everybody,
right. Bye-bye, guys.
Good night,
happy
everybody.
birthday again, Kim.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah.